What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Kind of an extension of the last video, but I said I wanted to be more detailed. And as you see, I am doing a bar-for-bar breakdown on Bigg K versus Murda Mook. Now, since my last video even kind of says in the title that I did a recap for it, it is funny to the next day, once again, review, but I want to make sure that, I get all the way into all the details, and most importantly, kind of talk about the aftermath of what I think, how the views are changed, what battles each battler could take next, how it changes their position a little bit. So, really did all of the RB Divide and Conquer 2 event over there. But in this video, going to focus in heavily on all of the details. Going to repeat some points, but give some points I didn't give. And really break this mega battle down to the core, right? And talk about specifically how I see it affecting the culture. But since I have talked about it a little bit, without further ado, let's get right into the first round of the battle. So, K started off the battle, which I'm going to be honest, I actually was a little bit worried about. Looking at it 4K, I thought that Mook kind of having that momentum of people wanting to see Mook and rapping second could be really hard to go against energy in the room wise. But he starts out with shots at A-Ward, funny enough, which I talked about. Threw some shots at, I think 2 shots at A-Ward in this battle. So obviously still poking fun at him and still giving him a hard time. But the first bar that he really lands early is the sacrifice the Christian to get a goat. Fire. If you try to pour a Skittle on me, I'll punch the chitlins out your mouth. Thought that was cool. So off rip, something that K does that I saw a few people talk about in their recaps is that he punches really back to back off rip, and that really is something that I think you do have to talk to a god tier in detail. You know what I'm saying? Which we'll talk about as we get to the second and the third round. You do need to angle do a little bit more, but you don't want to leave too much of what got you there in the first place. The man K is a great back-to-back puncher. For a while, that's what he has been fully categorized as and what a lot of people view him as, and you don't want to leave that behind just to angle all 3 rounds and be super deep. So I love that he comes out with just saying fire shit off rip, staying true to his style. Then from there, I cut the neck off a leader. Talk about Murda Mook. I caught the neck off a leader like one of chess bowls. Get the stick and fold up the corner like an egg roll. Thought that was fire. Showing the pure rapping ability. Pistol whip. How many times? I don't know. Do the math in your head. So he's even angle punching a little bit. I love the pace of this round. How back-to-back it is. The belly intro, the belly stuff was cool. I thought that was fire. The patterning of it was good. What's on my mind? Killing my friend. I got murder on my mind. That was cool. The dome shot, probably one of his better bars. You were saying that he had of the round. Dome shot. Now you and Party already having a rematch. Crazy hit like a haymaker, and it even ends it with an angle that he'll divulge on the second. I talked about a little bit in my predictions. You don't scheme better than Chilla Jones. You don't punch better than B Magic. You ain't as impactful. You know what I'm saying? And he ends it in the A-Ward shot. You ain't better than A-Ward. Oh, no, everybody's better than A-Ward. I wish he kind of stuck with, something more impactful because the build-up was really, suspenseful. But overall, really good first from K. As you get to Mook's first, he is the you shouldn't have opener, kind of the shouldn't have wordplay, which is cool. He is the I'm the one wearing the do-rags, but y'all in 360, so about their contracts. That was fire. That's the kind of, I think, boss talk that a guy like Mook could talk about as a legend in terms of, talking contracts, his status. I think that's a good pocket for him. Wish he would do a little bit more of that. But started off with fire. I'm always in the doghouse. I'm a married man. I do like to flip. I like that, you know what I'm saying? I like the do-rag, I like the married man stuff, and then he gets into a little bit of what people are talking about, the misses, the ring around the rosy bar, I'm not taking too much away from it, I didn't like that, the no siree, nursery, that's not very good, you know what I'm saying? Great delivery, though, that's the thing that's tough, is that his delivery and his rapping ability, always great, that's something that's never going to go away from Mook. He is a pure rapper at his core, so he's rapping really good, but the content, I think, just dips off here, the Humpty Dumpty bar, and he picks it up at the end of the round. He is the I got away with words. I'm talking about escaping. I got away with words. Thought that was fire. And I know your body. Don't get out of it. That was fire. That might have been the best shit Mook said in the first. One of my favorite bars of the first. So I like Mook's first a lot. Like I said, I think that ending, the Know Your Body shit was fire. I love his delivery. I think both of them have great rapping ability, but Mook probably had the most confidence he has in this battle in the first round. But due to those dry spots, the Humpty Dumpty, the No Siree bars, it's a very debatable round. Not mad at anyone going either way, but because of some of those content gaps, I did edge K the first round. Then you get into the second round, which in my opinion and many people's opinion is probably the clearest round of the battle. It goes back on K, and he starts out with the Rough Riders angle. Talk about here's Murda Mook and the D Riders, you know what I'm saying, which was funny, obviously getting at him. And, people were talking about gas early. Obviously, Mook's going to have his people that cheer for him, but his first was good. I didn't think it was overly gas. I mean, they cheer for the Humpty Dumpty lines and shit. So a little bit, you know what I'm saying, of ridiculous. But that's what happens when the God tier battles. I didn't, but either way, Rough Riders angle hit a little bit funny. How is he the GOAT? He's scared to bump heads. I like that. And from there, this is where the real angling starts. And something I said, K is an extremely underrated angler because he doesn't really sit on angles too long either usually. He goes to the college angle, how Murda Mook went to college, a Catholic school, a Fordham Prep, I think it was called. And he says, another Catholic thinking he could fuck with the kid. Thought that was tight, the whole way he set it up to that angle punch. And then he gets into by far my favorite pocket of this battle. It's something I'd said going in that K is good with up front angles. And there's a very good chance that he's going to come in here and do the best rendition, kind of talking to a God tier. And a lot of complaints that we as fans have and other legendary battlers have had, that the God tiers are great, and I don't think anyone doesn't want them around or doesn't respect them. But to talk all this when they have 7, 8 battles, or they really don't have the body of work that some of these guys have. He does a great job breaking it down. How did you were the best when there was only 8 battlers? Thought that was fire, and that's when he gets in the pocket about him being a vulture. I don't care if he was good when the sport was founded. Try making waves in a pool full of 40,000. We built this. Stayed with the game when the scene felt stiff. So who's the real vulture? Let's be real quick. You only pull up to eat after we kill shit. Really embodies, I think, a message that a lot of people in this culture have kind of feel, a lot of fans, battlers across, and on top of that, it's by far the best rendition. I feel like Rock kind of attempted this in his first round versus Mook. I think, people refer to verbs, not one of us, but I think this was a way better rendition, more direct and detailed towards the actual battle rap things we care about, not showing up on podcasts. Like I said, Rock tried in the first, but he wasn't really the guy for that angle. I just think that vulture bar really stuck with me. Probably my favorite bar of the battle, personally. I brought the feeling back, like physical therapy, fire. Where do I rank them on the spectrum? Asperger's. That was ridiculous. That was just funny. And then it has even the flat earther stuff he touched on. The environment. Another flat earther trying to control the environment. K's second is really, really good. And I don't think I'd like Mook's performance in this. Said in the last video, I like Mook's performance, but his second isn't good. His second is not a good round. It is the one round I could say thoroughly just. And then third, we'll talk about it a little bit. But the second starts with the race angle. Which when it comes to the race angle, man. First of all, he didn't stay on as much as people probably thought he was going to in this battle. But I have no problem with it as long as you execute it good, man. There's plenty of good ways to do a white angle. You know what I'm saying? There's white people who've done a lot of terrible things. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand any use of a race angle. But it just has to be creative because it's been done a lot, you know what I'm saying, in terms of just doing the bland version of it that people know are coming. You just have to give a creative spin to it. I mean, funny enough, it came from a white guy, but A-Ward's, third round angle at Bigg K and some of the things he said, there is material there. But he is the cereal scheme. That's not good. The hair and tortoise bar was a little reachy. The E-Lemonade wordplay. And more than anything, the alphabet scheme is the one that sticks out like a sore thumb. It's just insanely outdated writing. There's just no world where that's acceptable. And that's just kind of the issue that we have with Mook, with some of the outdated concepts. You're not really watching and seeing where wordplay has risen in battle rap. That's not good pen work. The blueprint line was good, but very clearly Bigg K took the second round. So you go into the third round of the battle, and Bigg K wastes no time getting right back to the angling, starting off with an Adderall drugs angle, saying that Mook is on Adderall and amphetamines, and he kind of list out all of the symptoms, talk about the slurred speech, which if you're a Mook fan, I think that kind of, or just, if you watch Mook interviews and just watch him as a battler, I think it's easy to kind of then connect the angle a little more because Mook is always stuttering, never completing his sentences, right? And then, the All I Need Is Mary J featuring meth, and then has a line referring to Ace Amin, drugs is a bitch. So really works the angle good to start out, nothing too crazy, but just once again sets up the round that he's going to get surgical, gives him some momentum to start with, and then he gets into something that I don't know if anyone saw coming fully, but it's this reverse race angle in a way. Speaking on the Yes Jewel situation from Mook's podcast, which if you guys remember that that wasn't even just something the community tore him up about. I remember just all of Twitter was giving Mook hell for the Yes Jules podcast. So I mean, the clips are out there, right? So he flips that around. The selective politicking, that was crazy the way he delivered that, and then goes into the Coke so white it let Mook call him the N word. So kind of crazy the way he flipped it on him, but he's fully got the room on his side at this point. Both of them land as haymakers. The S Jules angle being true, kind of, what I'm saying, like, just adds to it. So right off rip, he's hit, what is that, 2 angles, then gets down into one of the better bars of the battle that actually comes from the face-off, which just goes to show, got to be careful about what you do in the face-off, man. Talking about, you said a line to me that was actually wild. Talking about, can you teach in calculus to an infant? But I didn't get it till after a while. But then I saw that scar on your head and it started cracking a smile, because I thought that one day you might have to sit down and explain math to your child. God damn, man. One of the best bars of the battle. Extremely clever and strategic the way he brought that all around. Has complete control of the battle up until this point. And then another really deep hitting line that might not be one of the hardest hitting in terms of like the haymakers, but they didn't call you murder till you killed the love of the game. That was fire, man. Gets into like the clothing, talking about Mook bases himself too much on his clothes, which is cool. So a lot of character assassination. And then the manager's a CO angle. You got a cop to be your big boss man. Bringing 5-0s to a battle since Iron Solomon, which did hit crazy at the end. But the reality of the angle, right? The truth of it, I'm not seeing people speculate. But what I will say is when Murda Mook beat Tay Rock with that angle, a lot of it, which I've accepted, what I'm saying, is that it's about execution. Even if sometimes it's about execution. We can't fact check every angle, guys. What I'm saying? We can't be, it's just not realistic. But I've heard so much about how certain angles, when they do just reach a certain amount of good, you just have to give props to execution. So in my opinion, which we'll talk about, I think even without the CO angle, Bigg K probably wins this round. But with it, what I'm saying, add some hits. And then you get into Mook's third, and Mook's third is solid. He starts with the Bigg K impersonation, which is okay. Black both your eyes. Now, you can always write from a dark place. Thought that was good. The ASPCA bar, decent. The dog Snoop, Murda's, the case. Like, there's some good material in here. Like, I can't front. But then he gets into this one right here, man. If you were a dog, you'd be a Doberman pinscher, because you get people in pinches when you give dope to men. That's not good, dude. That's really, really bad. I'm seeing people defend that bar. And it just goes to show that, and in battle rap, we're allowed to be fans of whoever we want. But if you're excusing writing like that, in my opinion, you're just not going to have the guy ever losing a battle. And like I said, the start of this round, I really like the first half of this third. So I do understand people saying Mook's third is good, because this is a decent performance. Now, not good. It's not good because you can't have this back half of the round, the barrel in your mouth. Now you can suck a steel. And then even the scheme he had about K sleeping on Oompi's couch, and then turning that into a dog scheme. Dog schemes, man. If there's anything to talk about, man, with just so many different schemes and bars that just got to go. There's just bad concepts here in the second half of this third. And I think Bigg K's third is really, really good. Now, I don't think it's like an unbeatable round. I think it's a great round, but I think Mook's first half of his round was kind of working in a good direction. But just when you get to the Doberman pincher line, which just doesn't even rhyme. It just doesn't even rhyme. And then you get into the kind of the Oompi angle that falls flat into another more outdated scheme. I think that this battle in particular was funny with Mook talking about you're going to hear every bar. What I'm saying? That's why I love this room. You're going to hear every bar. I think we did hear every bar. Mook is an amazing pure rapper, and there's good content in here. I love some of the stuff in this first round. I really like his first round. I think that there is potential here in his second's not good, but the third had potential too. But I think since we can't hear every bar, some of the outdated writing that Mook has kind of been, I'm going to say, I hate to say getting away with, but has been getting away with, was just more personified. It wasn't just based on crowd reaction. We really got to look at just the content. And he didn't have many personal angles to take like that. So he was left to write a lot of just general material that is good, just creative writing and write good bars. And some of it is good, but it shows that there is flaws in his pen, which and they were evident in this battle when you do have the outdated schemes, the Doberman pincher bar that doesn't make sense. So Mook had a solid performance at that. But I had Bigg K taking the third round clear as well, which means that I called this battle overall first extremely debatable. So I have no problem with you guys saying that Mook got the first, but I personally called it as a gentleman's 30 for Bigg K, and really one of the biggest wins, if not the biggest win of his career. And that is my full, review of the battle itself. Crazy. I had predicted going in that K would win. How clear he won, I was a little shocked about. I thought that Mook would just get maybe some more love and control of the room more than anything. I wasn't surprised by some of the outdated writing, although it was a little, I thought that he did take a step in the right direction with Geechee. Even writing-wise, it wasn't the most complex battle, but he did limit some of, the air balls, although there was a few. And in this one, I feel like he kind of took a step back in that direction, trying to write, thinking it's super complex, and it's really schemes that we have heard before, wordplay that we have kind of heard before, but just done a lot. But in terms of the fallout of this battle, right, what goes on from here? When it comes to Bigg K, I want to ask the question. I mean, I don't know. It's not like he becomes a top 10 battle rapper or anything like that, but he was in a rough place the last few years. People putting doubt in his name when his name was on the top 75 list for Justin Hunt's, and I believe, what was that? Was that Complex that did that? I can't remember right now, but it might have been The Source. But I know that Justin Hunt was the writer that made the list for the top 75 battle rappers, and Bigg K was on that list. Or was it top 50? I think it was top 50 battle rappers, and Bigg K was on the list, and people were not happy with that. I think wins like this in his A-Ward win kind of reminded people who Bigg K can be at his peak, and who he is at his peak. But it is a bit of a legacy shifter now. It matters probably more to me, to someone that kind of does all these weird barbershop talks. Like, he might be a top 30 battle rapper of all time now. Might be an arguable topic. Now, that might not matter to most people. Some people don't even have a top 30 list, but it's little stuff like that where I do think he's climbed some rungs to some peers with a humongous Mook win. And you could start arguing things, I think he was always someone on the outside of that top 5 all-time puncher convo. Becomes a little bit more realistic now, right? Maybe he is 4 or 5 on that list. In terms of an angler, I think he might be one of the best anglers in battle rap right now, and I think it's a little hard to go against. I think the work he did against Ward was good. I think the way that the work he just did here against Mook was pretty masterful. He has angles such as his Adi Boom angle. He's done all types of funny angles versus big T's, big cannons, JCs. So all these things I just think Bigg K is going to get some more respect for. And we'll see how the community embrace him, what his next battle is. Now, Easy's talked about battle. I told you 6 months ago, Easy would be battling Bigg K instead of Mook potentially. And it would make sense. You would call me crazy, man, but it's just crazy what battle rap can do. But really a crazy kind of I'm not going to say a career turn. I think he was already a Hall of Famer before this, but definitely a career, milestone battle for Bigg K. And, you guys let me know down below what you think of any of those. Do you think he's top 5 punchers all time now? Do you think he's one of the most dangerous in the game? Do you think he's going to win Cody this? There's all types of things to go into. And as for Mook, don't think it was the worst performance in the world. Obviously, him taking a loss and he's not going to admit the loss. We know how all that goes. But there's still going to be battles available for him. I believe the RB deal is like a multi-battle deal. Really don't want to see Mook and Hollow. I believe they said they don't want to battle, but I don't want to see that at all. But Mook and Hitman, potentially. He's lost to a puncher now. So hopefully we can stop doing the God tiers or above punchers. They're not, man. Good battle rappers can beat good battle rappers. That is just the game. And we shouldn't just be trying to downput and categorize styles just to run from them. Just battle these fucking styles, man. Let the good battlers battle the other good battlers. So maybe he does battle Nitty. Probably a dangerous look right now, but the Hitman battle's not bad. I don't know if this pushes the Easy battle back, but definitely want to see Mook outside again and think if he could just clean up that outdated writing. He is one of the best pure MCs in battle rap and has great delivery. One of the best anglers. Mook is a great battle rapper. There's just things he has to clean up on writing, man. But great battle overall. Dope main event. Shout out to both of them, man. And it's been J Small Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the battle. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.